We got a deal done here. Harbaugh has picked his spot. John Harbaugh is going to the New York Giants. They got a quarterback over there in Jackson Dart, who I know you're not a huge fan of his reckless style of play, but they do have a quarterback over there nonetheless. They got a running back in Cam Scottaboo if he can get healthy, and they got a very good wide receiver, Malik Neighbors. So they have a nice little core of players on the offensive side of the ball. So no surprise that Harbaugh took that job. I guess the disappointing part is it seems like the Dolphins didn't even just weren't even in the picture here with this one. I know a lot of fans are kind of hoping that that Harbaugh would be in the mix, and Dolphins didn't move his needle apparently.
I think the Dolphins have to deal with this fact that if your team has more young talent and has a quarterback in position, probably should have started with a quarterback in position, a young guy that's shown signs he can play, and has a chance to be a franchise quarterback, you're going to go with that because that gives him a chance to win. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't surprised. Listen, that's there are going to be a lot of guys they interview that would take that Dolphin job. There's no question. There's only 32 of them. Mm-hmm. But for a guy that's been around, that's my feeling. But the problem is if you're John Harbaugh, you're going to make sure, and I'm guessing Tomlin's going to be, if he decides he wants to be traded with Pittsburgh and comes back and wants to coach, he's going to want to go somewhere. They don't want to do that start over without a quarterback thing. Neither one of those guys. And they're going to want to be in a situation where they can win quickly, and they believe, and the GM's got a proven track record, the organization. And Omar, I just feel like right now this thing's pretty empty with the Miami Dolphins for if you're trying to get a Harbaugh kind of guy. Now, there's going to be a lot of other guys. I think some of the young names are going to be coming up for their first interviews. I believe they're going to want to hear the game plan on the quarterback. They got to ask about that, but they're aware of the talent. They're aware of that, and they'll take those jobs as long as they get a 4 or 5 year contract. You don't know how many chances you're going to get if you're a young.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you don't know how many chances you get. You're going to take jobs. You're going to take them.
But here it is. Here's the problem, Joe, and I'm not arguing with you because I learned very early on Harbaugh is not considering this job. They're pretty much just using Miami to up the offer in terms of them having a conversation. But Harbaugh was interviewing teams, not the other way around.
Yes.
This job might be a bottom 5 of the 9 available, a bottom 3 of the 9 available that's out there. And you got to come to terms with where you are as a franchise when you're in that situation.
Listen, I don't disagree. We said when this all started and we realized, I said, Atlanta to me is a better job right now. You start going through all the, and we beat the, out of Atlanta. And I'm looking and I'm going, hey, guys I talk to think, Penix's got a chance to be a really good quarterback. They're still, fine on him. They look at the talent on both sides of the ball. They've got some good young players. There are a lot of jobs that look to be better than I haven't ranked them, but there are jobs that are probably better. And again, it starts with this quarterback situation and where they are right now. I'm guessing even if you're coming in and you've interviewed for the Miami Dolphins job, and you haven't had a chance to really look at it up close, they're aware of the quarterback situation.
Yeah.
From Tua going out to Quinn Ewers' 3-game audition to what are we thinking there?
Yeah.
And listen, it's a small fraternity. They all talk.
Absolutely.
Some of the old Dolphin coaches call me. I'm not getting any names during the week to ask me, and what are you hearing? And or they probably do. Oh, I know that because one guy asked for your phone number. So they want and they're aware of stuff. No matter where they are, it's a small little fraternity. And when you got 25, 26 assistant coaches on a staff, they're talking to their buddies on other teams.
Absolutely. So that's how it works.
It is. Everybody knows everybody's business. Yeah. Everybody knows. I was shocked. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. The environment, the quarterback situation, the cap situation, the power structure with Brandon Shore still around and in power. I'm sorry. There are a lot of things that turn off a lot of people. And more than likely, you're going to have to end up with a first-time rookie head coach, which would be the fifth you've hired if you're Steve Ross. I'm just not comfortable with that, Joe. I like if we're going to do everything different than what we did before, maybe it might be time we get a coach with some experience. And while I was not a Mike McCarthy guy early on in this process, at this point, he's more attractive than all of the individuals the dozen individuals we've heard named and mentioned so far.
So let me ask you about that name. Think about his last two quarterbacks he's had.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers and Dak Prescott.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the Dallas situation is a turnoff for me. But if you look at his resume and record, it's not that much different than Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh, and it might be better than John Harbaugh.
But who's he got? He understands he needs a quarterback.
Yeah. Okay.
So he's coming down here and like, hey, I'd be interested in this job, but you got to be patient because I don't have anybody that's good enough to give me as a quarterback. I don't think anybody's going to give me 10 or 11 wins. And I looked at your schedule next year, and it's not exactly
don't do that, Joe.
Real friendly.
I don't like when people look at the schedule and who cares about the schedule. Okay, but you don't think he could look at a situation like Malik Willis and Green Bay, John Eric Sullivan? He knows who Malik Willis is, and I'm not saying whether Malik Willis is the answer for this organization or not.
No. But you just put the pieces together. I agree.
Yeah.
You look for your own guys that you've had a chance to watch up close in practice. He knows Malik as well as anybody, and a lot of people think he and Mac Jones are two of the top guys to see if we can get them. Yeah, absolutely.
So you can patch it together depending on how good you are of a quarterback developer. To me, I get why all of the coaches that are interviewing are defensive guys, because as we talked about earlier, the defensive guys are the guys who have the alpha personalities. And this organization, this franchise, they need an alpha personality. I'm sorry. I've been here too long, seen too much, know too much to not know you absolutely need an alpha personality. But I do need a guy who can fix a quarterback. And unless a defensive coordinator is coming here with a Mike McDaniel, I'm not real confident that any of them can develop a quarterback.
First of all, we got to upgrade the talent on this roster in so many different areas. It doesn't get fixed with one upcoming draft and a few cheap free agents that you might try to get minus one of those quarterbacks you might like. And again, that if that's the way they decide to go. So I hear what you're saying, but we need a GM who has total control to do things completely different than what we've been doing.
Yep.
You agree with that,
Absolutely,
right?
Absolutely, no question.
And I keep hearing Brandon Shore's name, and like, I'm with you. Enough. Seriously, enough.
Yep.
Enough with like, I got people asking me, like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Why is he still here? Yep.
Well, I just like,
and why is he in power?
And once again, he got in with good people. He got in with the good people, that you need to be in good with. But it's like, if that guy came to me, that GM, I said, you just be careful with people around you that are still here.
Watch your back.
That's all.
Yeah.
You're gonna get in trouble. You're not even in town.
I'm not getting in trouble anymore. There's no trouble again. There's nothing. I see.
We just got to get it fixed, Joe. And that's why I am in no holds barred. I'm not telling you what you want to hear. I'm not doing any favors for information. I'm sick of this. Sick and tired of it. I've covered it for 18 years. You were part of it. This is toxic. We got to do better. And it starts with a full colonic cleanse. And we're not doing that, unfortunately.
I'm going to hold off on that one because I just want to see once we get the head coach. And I saw the assistant, since we've talked, we haven't brought it up, the assistant GM was let go.
Yeah.
Which was no surprise. He was, he and Chris were together for a few of the years. I don't know how many years he was here, but yeah, you got to get your own people in here and we got to do it a completely different way. And I understand ownership doesn't change. I understand that stuff stays in structure, but we get the way they run everything else at that stadium and the way they run things at Hard Rock for the offices over there. That other part of it, that all that money was spent on, the training facility and the Miami Dolphins team that sits over there by itself across the parking lot, that thing is so far behind that it's pathetic. And I'm ready to let pathetic and everything else go, but we got to let new eyeballs, and we're all saying the same things. There's got to be a new way to do things, because our way of patching it up and sticking with the same people and the same complaints come out from assistant coaches.
Fear of quarterback competition, and patch the roster with old injured players, and no leadership voids, and coaches with soft personalities, and it's got to go, man. It's got to go.
Well, this GM hopefully has, I don't know, Omar, you may know, hopefully when they're picking the head coach, he's got to be the lead guy to go, yep, hey, guys, we're all here together, but that's the guy I like. And they go, he's your guy. Let's do it. You agree with that?
I don't know him well enough to give that green light.
You picked him out, and
I just think fundamentally that's how it has to be.
Everybody's list, huh?
Fundamentally, that's how it has to be, though, right? Like whether Omar knows the guy or not.
Yeah, but I like that he's part of the people vouch for him, and I respect that. He is a grinder. He has worked his way up. He's been loyal, come from one organization, a healthy organization that knows how to build things the right way. The only concern I have is this is not Green Bay. It is not Green Bay, and you are going to face absolutely, completely different challenges in Miami than you will face in Appleton, Wisconsin, or wherever. It's Green Bay, but really the major city close to it is Appleton. Like, it's not the same thing. So you better make sure you're aware of that.
I agree with that, Omar, but I think you hit that way too much, man. Yeah. You got me the other day on it, but it's just we
couldn't be any further than from Green Bay, Joe. You know that.
I understand that, but it's like I get that. But I think if you put Josh Allen in any one of 32, he's going to be Josh Allen. It's not just because he's playing in Buffalo that he's decided he's going to act like Jim Kelly. Like that guy, wherever he was going, they got a guy that's got the Wyoming chip on his shoulder to show the freaking world, and I'm going to be the best player, and I'm going to lead teams even if I'm shorthanded on defense or receiver. You're going to get guys like that no matter where they go. They come down here, and the clubs and all the stuff and the lifestyle, that those guys will still stay committed. We do have those guys on the team right now. Somebody called me after your talk the other day and said, hey, man, we got a lot of guys, that, and I get it, man. Yeah. We get talking about the guys that have done it, and we don't talk about all the guys that live the right way and do the right thing.
Yeah, the Jordan Brooks of the world. I'm not saying that everybody is.
Well, you didn't bring them up. You were just talking about all the, like, every guy's coming in here with demons on his shoulder.
Oh, there's a lot of guys that can. I name names, Joe. I name names. I named the Kendrick Drakes, and I named the Vontae Davises, and I named the Brandon Marshalls. We got a lot of guys with demons over here, Joe. And
we have through the years. I mean, you could do the all demon team. I could add guys on there that, that have done it. And we've had a few guys that have done it and still played at a high level. That's another batch that didn't let it affect their play on the field and could still show up and function every day. But I just think that's going to be, hey, I had this talk with interim GM to do a better job of getting quality guys, better background checks to find out what they're like, to get an idea. Not that guys don't change. Success does change guys, but at least from the core of guys, like that thing at South Carolina, that thing was a great example of.
You just whiffed.
That just can't happen.
The Channing Tindalls and the Eric Uzakamas. We can't do. We can't.
There's another guy.
We can't do that. Yes,
Demon City. Yeah, we got to do, if we're gonna draft them, We got to go, and it sounds fundamental. And somebody told me, that we're doing that, and we're doing a better job of that, doing background checks. That doesn't mean going to the head coach for the college and asking him, because he's not going to badmouth those guys that when he's out recruiting portal.
They do their checks with the weight, strength, and conditioning guy, and the tutor, and the high school coach. And they do.
You got to do all that stuff because you got to get in to find out. So some things that have happened in this organization never happen again, and they've happened recently. They've got to be taken care of and cleaned up and just do a better job. I don't know. Maybe it's going on everywhere. I know mental health's a lot more in today's young people, and
they're soft.
More issues today. But it's there's just work to do, man. But I'm not going to say it's a cop out, Omar, for us to sit here and just constantly talk about nightclubs are destroying our team, basically, or the combination packages of beautiful women are destroying marriages, or they're destroying how players play. It's just a cop-out, man.
I'm glad you didn't buy that, because he tried to feed me that crap earlier this morning, too.
I didn't say it's the reason. The reason
it's absolute nonsense.
The reason this team failed is because Tua lost his arm.
And Joe, I'm sorry you had to listen to it. I got to.
He got going. I did a whole segment, and then I get 2 calls from 2 players.
I know.
Can we real quick, Joe? Tomorrow when
I'm in California spending time. I got this because of Omar bringing up this stuff that South Beach is destroying the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, apparently.
Destroy the Panthers.
It's not just South Beach. Fort Lauderdale's popping now.
Omar hit me with this early in the show that apparently Miami is the only city in the United States of America that has nighttime establishments on Mondays and Tuesdays.
On Tuesdays.
Oh, you didn't know? You didn't know L.A. shut down on certain days? Oh, yeah.
L.A., New York, all of them. I'm sure are just ghost town USA.
Both
all right.
teams in the playoffs again. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Well, that's why they're in the playoffs, Joe, because they got nothing to do at night. We do have games coming up.
They also got good coaches.
We do have games coming up with teams that play in markets that.
We agree with all that other stuff.
Yeah.
He just flipped on us.
I'm just saying they got good coaches too, good quarterbacks too.
So here's the games we got, Joe. We got the Broncos and the Bills on Saturday. Seahawks and 49ers Saturday night. Pats and Texans. Omar says nothing goes on in Boston either. Pats and Texans,
lived in Boston,
very quiet city. Very quiet.
It's quiet. Yeah.
No bars there.
Thursday night it
Bears
picks
and Rams on Sunday night. Chicago also an incredibly quiet place, as is LA. So
way to hit him, Woody.
The good news is, Joe, the good news is all the players should be very well rested for these games because they got nothing going on outside of football. So
none of those cities are like Miami, and
We'll get to your picks tomorrow, Joe, but I just wanted to ask you about this Broncos and Bills game.
Put you on the tourism board, Omar. I'll put you on the damn Dade County tourism board.
I could take you out and corrupt you real good.
Omar's selling point is that there's nothing going on anywhere else but here.
No,
that is not what I said. I said
you're a good
that's
athlete.
literally what you said.
No,
I destroy your life.
I said on a Tuesday when you have a day off, it's a lot different in Miami than it is in Green Bay or Carolina or Atlanta. Come on, let's be real about it. Now,
nothing going on in
LA and Vegas. It's a lot different than Tuesday in Dallas.
Can I get back to the game, please? Your take is heard.
All
right.
Broncos and Bills, Joe.
Broncos
and Bills. Josh Allen took the beating of a lifetime on Sunday in that game against the Jags. Saturday, whatever that game was. He is clearly incredibly banged up, and he is trying to put this team on his back. He's 2 wins away from getting to a Super Bowl. The Broncos are in his way, and then either the Texans or the Patriots. So no Patrick, no Lamar standing in front of Josh Allen right now, but he's got to go on the road again. This is a very tough Denver defense. Denver's 14-3 on the season. They are 8-1 at Mile High this year, Joe. Can the Buffalo Bills, led by Josh Allen, can he go in there and play Superman again against a much better team here this week, and will the Bills into the championship game?
If he doesn't play like he did last week, if he doesn't do the Superman things, running, throwing, keeping plays alive, throwing off his back foot as he's rolling out and hit somebody 50 yards, if he doesn't do that, they won't beat Denver. Denver going to be a tough out.
Mm-hmm.
Denver is going to be a tough out. Fresh. The only thing I get is Josh has got to play out of his mind. He's going to run more. And like you said, he got banged up running. He got hit again in the head, probably had a concussion again. told the doctor, get rid of this blue tint before I get rid of you. I'm going back in the game, you know. But I like Denver in this game.
Okay. And then I'm just curious what the Roses are thinking over there with the 49ers. The 49ers are the biggest underdogs of the weekend, going to play Seattle there. They're not giving 49ers any respect there, Joe. Touchdown underdogs.
It's a McCaffrey show only.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle and that great defense. At home, Seattle's. I think the party's over for San Francisco. That would be the story Monday morning when we're all back at work. The 49ers going and beat Seattle. There's your story. Then none better than if they win that game.
Well, we'll get your picks on the others tomorrow. We'll run through those with you if you got time for us tomorrow on the show.
I don't mind, but we hitting this club is destroying. So now we got to hire a GM with a club background of hey, no, you can't be in there. I don't care how good the food is at Tootsie's. I mean, we got to be careful.
Honestly, it's incredible anybody gets anything done down here with all these nighttime establishments. I don't even know how people function here, to be quite honest with you.
It's called cocaine.
Ruining corporate America, our nightlife. All right.
Bye, Joe.
See you guys.
All right. Joe would kind enough to join us here, bringing some sense to the conversation. Omar Nightclub Kelly will come back. We'll wrap this thing up here on QAM. Tobin and Leroy will be coming up next. We'll take a pause. We'll wrap it up here on QAM.